joined to felicitate with the monarch and people of Ikpogun.
He comes as a Oba for this town. He make the peace to reign in this town. So we thank God that God chose him as Oba for us in this town.
Kabiyesi has been a peaceful man, loving Kabiyesi, and he commands a lot of respect.
At a reception for guests and well-wishers, members of the community extolled the traditional ruler for influencing development and peace in the town.
The Oba is very right too. You can see most of us are here to grace this occasion. And I think it's somebody that is quite very cooperative. And it's somebody that moves around and, get together with all the others.
Many Ikpogun sons and daughters are making progress here and there. So we thank God for the massive achievement.
Since he has been on the throne, he's performing his best. And the community is developing rapidly.
Oba Raphael Ojo thanked all for the support he has enjoyed since he became a monarch.
The journey so far was mixed up. At times of joy, at times of sober. As life is full of ups and downs, so do I experience all this. But I thank God, to every hardship, God sailed me over.
Oba Raphael Ojo, who transitioned from a school administrator to become the Adakpogun of Ikpogun, advocated constitutional roles for monarch to further help their task. Sahid Aribisala, Osrc News.
All communities in Ugboland in Ilaje local government area of Ondo State say they will henceforth speak with one voice on socio-economic issues that affect them as a people. This was the agreement reached at an epoch-making ceremony which featured the tripartite inauguration of Ugboland Development Congress, Ugboland Council of Obas, and Ugboland Council of Chiefs. Osrc Sahid Aribisala witnessed the event, report that the Ugboland Development Congress is tasked with creating a development blueprint to facilitate economic opportunities for Ugboland.
For many years, oil-rich communities in Ugboland in Ilaje local government area of Ondo State have been plagued with underdevelopment and internal crises which have affected the economic prosperity of the area. All of that is set to change with this ceremony of the inauguration of Ugboland Development Congress, made up of eminent sons and daughters committed to advancing the cause of the area. The chairman, Ugboland Development Congress UDC Inauguration Committee, Chief Olushola, said efforts to harness the potential of the area, develop a blueprint for economic prosperity, gave rise to the formation of the group.
We have 4 kings within the area, traditional rulers. At a time, because of competition for the very meager available resources, there had been clashes here and there. The indigenous community are not speaking with one voice, and so the center was no longer holding. That was what led to the conception of the idea of a body that will speak for these people, a body that will bring everybody together, a body that will articulate the dream and the vision of this core oil producing area of the state.
The UDC convener, Mr. Benson Obayelu, and the chairman, UDC Board of Trustees, who is a former clerk of the National Assembly, Oluyemi Ogunyomi, said Ugboland will henceforth speak as one and demand for accountability from their representatives.
Today we have an organization like this that can take up any matter that has to do with development of Ugbo, peace in Ugboland.
We shall henceforth speak with one voice.
Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu, who was represented at the event by his deputy, Lucky Ayedatiwa, commended the initiative, noting that such will collaborate government's effort in addressing challenges in community development.
Those are the pride of Ondo State, not only because of some of the progress achievements of the state based on this land, community and to learn that so
Also inaugurated was the Igboland Council of Chiefs and Traditional Rulers. The Olugbo Oba Frederick Akinruntan described the day as one of his happiest and a new dawn for his people.
When they started this matter, I was thinking that they were deceiving me. I never took them serious. I was looking at them that this is a child play. A lot of people who have tried to finish this matter, they cannot do it.
While plans have begun for the actualization of an annual Ugbo Day festival, the rejuvenation of unity of purpose among these people is said to herald a greater and prosperous Ugboland. Sahid Aribisala, Osrc News.
Reports just reaching us as the Airline Operators of Nigeria, AON, has suspended its decision to withdraw its services across all airports in the country. Barely one day before the association planned to effect the withdrawal, it explained that it was suspending the decision in the interest of the national economy and security considerations. AON President Abdul Munaf Sarina announced the suspension few minutes ago in a statement jointly signed by 6 members of the association. Earlier, the Ministry of Aviation had assured Nigerians that members of AON were reviewing their decision to withdraw services on Monday, May 9. And we'll take the story. Believers have been charged to depend solely on God in order to attract divine satisfaction. The charge was given at the 5th anniversary of the United Apostolic Church of Christ, Mount of Mercy, in Lula District Headquarters, Akure. Joy Pius reports that the church, in conjunction with the Shore Mercy Ministries, Texas, USA, rendered assistance to widows in the church as part of activities marking the 5th anniversary. The United Apostolic Church of Christ, Mount of Mercy, Ilula District Headquarters, Akure, had earlier collaborated with the Shore Mercy Ministries, Texas, USA, under the leadership of Reverend Toyin Ayola to assist widows in the church. Reverend Ayola helped on the unending blessings attached to giving to the needy.
One of the instructions of God is that we must not neglect the needy. And one of them is the widows and the widowers. And it's a great privilege to be a blessing to them.
The church was filled to capacity as congregants rejoiced in appreciation of God's faithfulness as the choir gave special renditions to mark the 5th anniversary of the church. The guest minister, who is the worldwide president of the church, Reverend Bayo Owoyemi, charged believers on depending on God, who is the express way to divine satisfaction.
Our people should have this knowledge that satisfaction comes from God. Power belongs to God. If we are satisfied and we have this divine satisfaction, we will know that wherever you are, wherever you be, and whatever office you get to in life, you know that is God.
General evangelists of the church, prophets Gabriel Alo, and members expressed gratitude for God's preservation while calling on Christians to be steadfast in their service to God.
I'm very happy because the Lord has done a great thing in my life. I never expected it this way, but it is well known to God, and I give all glory back to God because He has done it well for me.
I want to acknowledge all the Christians in the world that they should hold on to God.
Be happy because the anniversary went smoothly.
I feel so great, I feel so happy, and I give all glory to God.
The anniversary started with a revival and ended with a special Thanksgiving service. It led to the ancient town of Usho as an octogenarian late Chief Amos Olawumi Atondairo was committed to Mother Earth. The funeral service at the St. Andrew's Church Usho in Owo local government area witnessed convergence of eminent personalities. Our reporter Zimo Ebiemi was there and now reports.
It was a gathering of eminent Nigerians here at the Diocese of Osrc Church of Nigeria, Halican Communion, St. Andrew's Church, Usho, for the funeral service in honor of late Chief Amos Atondairo. The Oyo State Governor Larot Makeredolu was represented by his Chief of Staff, Chief Olugbenga Hale, at the event to join children of the deceased to bid their father goodbye. In a sermon, a vicar and archdeacon of St. Andrew's Church, Usho, Venerable Olajide Omotade, who dwelt on life hereafter, urged the congregation to always be at peace with fellow human beings.
Are you known in heaven before God? Is your name written in gold? You should try and amend your ways before you go. The all-knowing and the all-seeing God.
The service also featured thanksgiving in honor of late Chief Atondairo. Governor Larot Makeredolu, represented by his Chief of Staff, Olugbenga Hale, advised the children of the deceased to hold on to the legacy of their father.
The joy of the children should lie in the fact that their father was a charismatic leader, a leader who was well respected in the community, a man of great character. This should be their consolation.
Thereafter, the dust-to-dust rites.
Eru fún eru, ekuru fún ekuru.
Former Ondo State Deputy Governor Omolade Oluwatero, Chairman Akure South Local Government Benga Olaniyi, and some of the deceased children described late Atondairo as a man worthy of emulation.
Very, very active, very diligent in his duties.
Very hardworking and lover of his children, and very, very helpful and very generous indeed. He always giving and very frank person. He will never see white and call it black.
He showed love to us. He used love to combine us together, and he's a great man in my life.
My dad is like 1 million father. He supported us, he stood by us. And it's not just our father, but it's also our father for all.
At the reception, it was another gathering of top government functionaries, including the chairman Osrc Media Group, Mr. Kunle Adebayo, who joined family members and friends of the deceased to pay their last respect. Late Pa Amos Atondairo, who died at the age of 81, was an accomplished businessman, devout Christian, and a community leader. Z. Moibiemi, Osrc News.
Pastor Gideon Oluwagbemi of Christ Apostolic Church, Oke-Shegun, Ikere, Ekiti State, has enjoined Christians to live a life worthy of emulation. At the burial service of late Pastor Clement Alabi, the officiating minister said no matter the number of years spent on earth, eternity remains more important. Bisola Luku reports that the event attracted dignitaries from far and near, and the report is presented from the studios.
The death of loved ones always come with emotions and grief, no matter how old such grew before exiting the stage of life. Such was the case with the family and friends of late Pastor Clement Alabi as they gathered at the Christ Apostolic Church, Oke-Shegun, Ikere in Ekiti State to pay their last respect to their departed loved one. The officiating minister, Pastor Gideon Oluwagbemi, charged individuals to live a purposeful life on earth. He said the deceased lived a life worthy of emulation. At the graveside where the remains were committed to Mother Earth, emotions were betrayed. Family, friends, and loved ones said they have lost a treasure.
He said, love me, care
caring, dedicated, and a devoted man.
Is everything. It's beyond comprehension. If I begin to talk now, its impact is immeasurable. I'm glad that he slept well in the Lord.
He's the best dad I've ever lived. You know, he's an honest man. He gave us the best life to live.
Baba is a disciplinary. Then he's never selfish, and anybody that come across Baba will touch him positively.
Thereafter, there was a reception where guests were entertained and refreshed. Born in Ikarekiti on the 1st of June 1941, Pastor Clement Alabi, who died at the age of 80, was survived by wife, children, grandchildren, and family members.
And that ends tonight's edition of the news. Thanks for watching. Good evening.